Alright, so now that we've got all our assets in place, lined up how we'd like them to be, I'm going to show you how to keyframe some of these so we can have a little bit of movement and make it a little more interesting. So we know that right at the end of this map of the Americas image, when Senor Ford points, we know that we want him to be pointing right at California. So we know that we need this map to be right there. So I'm going to go ahead up in here in my effects control panel, and I'm going to expand where it says motion, and I'm going to set a keyframe for both the position and the scale. And because this clip is selected down here, it's setting a keyframe for the position and the scale of this image. Now a keyframe is just telling the image or the asset where you want it to be and what you want it to do at that particular moment in time. Now I'll scrub back through this to almost the very beginning, and I don't need to click that keyframe again. I'm actually just going to take this image and I'm going to move it, and I want it to start way up here, and I want it to be a particular size here. So I've changed the position and the scale, and you'll see that other keyframes were set right in there. Now if I play this from the very beginning, you'll see, and actually I'll probably pull those keyframes over to the very beginning so that this movement starts right at the very beginning. So we'll go ahead and play this and you'll see kind of what happens.
Hola clase, me llamo Señor Ford. Yo soy de California. Soy californio. En el mapa del mundo, California está aquí. California está en América del Norte.
Alright, so now we have, so you saw the movement in there. It moves and it's right where we want it to be when we want it to be there. One thing in there was that he kind of switched places right in the middle. That was, we did a cut there right in the middle so we could move him over. I kind of like his positioning from the first one. So, well, we'll leave it there for now. Let me show you how to do the rest of these and we'll come back to that. So next we're going to keyframe in Oregon. So we know that we want Oregon to be in that particular spot at that particular moment when he talks about Oregon. But what if we had it start coming in before that? So when he talks about Oregon, I'm going to go ahead and pause it.
California está Oregón. Al sur.
Okay, so right there we want Oregon to be in place when he says está Oregón. So we're going to set a keyframe here. Again, position and scale for Oregon right there. And I'll drag this back to the beginning here. And I'm going to have Oregon come in all the way. Make it a little bigger. I'm going to have it come in from the top. And so now we'll go ahead and click play.
América del Norte. Al norte de California está Oregón. Al sur de California está Mexico.
Alright, so Mexico's down in the south of California, of course, but we can't see all of Mexico here. So we want Mexico to come in a way that we can actually see the shape of Mexico. So when he mentions it, I'll go ahead and pause it again.
De California está.
Oh, there's an autosave there. Let me start over. So we'll go ahead and pause it when he mentions
Oregón.
Mexico.
Al sur de California está Mexico.
Alright, so right there we know that we want Mexico to be in that spot. I'm going to pull this over a little early here. So Mexico is going to be right there when he says Mexico. And we'll set the position and the scale. And I'm going to drag back to the beginning of that clip. And I'll even have Mexico coming in a little early here. So while Oregon's still coming in, I will have Mexico. And I'll have it come in from this side. So we'll be able to kind of get a sense for the size and shape of it there. And we can keyframe that size. Now we'll go ahead and play that. We'll see Oregon and Mexico coming in together.
California está en América del Norte. Al norte de California está Oregón. Al sur de California está Mexico. Al este de California está Nevada.
Alright, so right there he mentions Nevada, so we know we want Nevada. to be in that spot. But before we can drag that out, so we want to set the position and scale, and then before he mentions Nevada, we can have it coming in. Let's have Nevada come in from the east, and we'll drag it out a little bigger, and so we'll have it kind of fly in that way. Let's see how that looks.
América del Norte. Al norte de California está Oregón. Al sur de California está México. Al este de California está Nevada. Al oeste de California está el Océano Pacífico. La capital de California es Sacramento.
All right, so right there he mentions Sacramento as the capital. So we want to bring in another layer. I've got a gold star PNG here, and I'm going to put this up above here, and we'll select it. We'll drag it over to kind of where Sacramento is, and we'll make it a little smaller. Click off of there. That looks like right about where Sacramento is. Now, what if we had a title that came up above that? I'm going to click on a new item here, title. I'm going to call it Sacramento. Click OK. And then I can just choose, using my text option here. Let's choose a nice font. And I'll stretch this out bigger. So then we go, so, alright, so it's a little hard to see there, but if I can change the color of it, I can add a shadow. Sometimes just adding that shadow is going to make it easier to see. And I might make it bold. There we go. And I'll probably make it a little smaller. So my text size there. And I'm going to move this title right down to where it shows up nice there. And then I'll go ahead and close it. Now, that doesn't throw the title into my project. It actually puts the title over here, and it's in my images folder. So I'm going to drag it out of my images folder, and I can create a new folder for titles, or a new bin for titles. I can drag it into that titles folder just to keep things organized. Now, this is an asset, and I can now drag it into a different layer. So I'm now up working on layer 9 here, and so I'll drag that into layer 9. And we'll figure out the timing here so it fits really nice. Let's see.
Está el Océano Pacífico. La capital de California.
So right when he starts talking about the capital of California, I think I'll have my star and my title fade in. So I'm going to put a little cross dissolve on the beginning of the star and the title, and then we'll play that and see how that looks.
Pacífico. La capital de California es Sacramento. La bandera.
All right, so that's looking really nice. The last thing we're going to do is I'm going to show you here that we can put not just images and titles in the background here, but we can actually put other videos. So in this section, this last final section of the video, Senior Ford is talking about the American flag, or the California flag. So I've got a video of a California flag. It actually has some funny audio with it, and I'll let you listen to a little bit of that here.
This is Vegas Bob from Las Vegas, Nevada.
Alright, so Vegas Bob from Vegas, Nevada. We don't want that audio. We just want the video. So I'm going to take, instead of dragging the whole video down there, I'm going to take just this icon here. So it's drag video only, and I can pull it into any of these layers, and it'll show up underneath there. So I'm going to put it all the way over here, right underneath. Now, I think it'd be kind of cool if it showed the whole screen. So what if we drag that up really nice? We can show it behind there. And now if we play that video, we can see that there's really two videos.
La bandera de California tiene dos colores, el blanco y el rojo. Hay un rectángulo rojo en la parte de abajo. Hay un rectángulo blanco más grande en la parte.
Alright, so there's the flag playing in the background. Now, if you look at this part, Senior Ford is still talking about a flag for all of this time, but our flag video ends there. So what would happen if we got to here, all of a sudden, no flag video? Here's how we fix it. Since this flag video, it's just a waving flag, we can actually right-click on it, choose speed duration, and we can take the speed and change the speed, or the duration and change the duration. So I can tell here that it's about halfway. So I'm going to take the speed and I'm going to slow it down to 50%. That'll make the clip twice as long. I'll click OK. And now, it was actually perfect. So now that'll come right to the end here and they'll finish at the same time. What I'd like to do at the very end is do a dip to black and make sure I do it on that video as well as on this video. And my white screen back there, I really don't need white screen at this point, but I will just unlock that and I can just drag this down this way. So there we have, it'll fade to black at the same time and our video is done.